Hello, scholars, and welcome back. It is week 5 already of POL 450, Research Methods for Political Science. I must say that I am very pleased with the progression of this class. I believe that I've seen some very good evolution from the first few weeks where we were establishing just some simple concepts of what a research project would be about, to formulating our research questions, to last week operationalizing our research questions. Many of you have some very quality topics which you were able to share last week. And I could see a definite evolution of how, as you have taken your research question, for many of you simplified your research question, included applications of how I needed to operationalize terms. And I think that we are really moving in a positive direction, and many of you are really on the right track to having very successful prospectuses in the first part of your research projects. So this week we changed gears slightly, and we're now going to look at how would we answer our question. So once you establish a question, the next question or the next step would be obviously trying to answer it. And sometimes these two go so hand in hand that we often have to think to ourselves, how is my question realistic in terms of how would I ask it? So if it is askable, if it's a question that I can if it's a question that actually has merit, that I could reach out to people and answer, then that's typically a quality research question. And then vice versa. Based upon my research question, have I wrote quality survey questions that I can actually reach out to an individual and ask and get a level of data back that I can actually utilize? And that's what it's all about in this week, or in this portion, or this week's agenda. So in week 8, or in chapter 8 of our text, we're going to be looking at evaluating the argument, the analysis and assessment section. It's going to talk about qualitative and quantitative analysis, and then a practical summary that kind of gives you a good idea of what you're looking for. In our PowerPoint lectures this week, there's a series of PowerPoint lectures that I've included. There's a PowerPoint on sampling and survey, and then there is 2 YouTube videos that break down each one of those topics, one on sampling and one on the survey of our research. So that will lend us to our 3 deliverables this week. So our first deliverable, and this is going to be due to Sunday, December 1st, 2019 at 11:59 p.m. 25 points. And remember, this is going to be a difficult week for many of us with the holidays, so we need to be very diligent. But what I'm asking you to do is write 5 to 8 survey questions related to your research study. At least 3 of these questions should be open-ended, and the remaining questions can utilize nominal or ordinal level data. Be sure to specify who your participants are and whether you will be conducting survey research or interviews to gather your data. So one of that is, am I going to go with qualitative questions, quantitative questions, or a combination of both, which we call mixed methods? Who am I going to be sending this to? That would be your sample size. So we need to have that. And remember, that's going to be a portion of our prospectus anyway in our section 3. So it'll be good for you to write through of who you would actually give this survey to. And that's what we're talking about, is what would be the age demographic, the area location, who would actually be this. And then there's the survey questions. And remember, when we're talking about 5 to 8 survey questions, some of them can have that descriptive statistics quality. What is your age? What is your race? What is your sex? You're going to want to know that information as you move forward. So I always feel that those are like some of the standardized questions at the front side, and then that goes into the meat and potatoes of the actual questions that you're going to ask to answer your research question. So here's the rubric: 15 points if to hit all the required, and then 10 to give us that APA academic spelling and grammar. So once again, these are going to be in survey question forms. So if you are going to be asking an open-ended answer or an open-ended question, obviously it will be open-ended. If you're asking for, if it's a multiple choice, you need to, what I'm getting at is present this in question format, as if you were going to, this is the survey that you would be submitting. Our second deliverable this week is on sampling. So once again, December 1st, Sunday at 11:59, 30 points possible. Write a brief essay of no more than 400 words that describes how you plan to find participants for your research study. How do you want to survey or interview them and why? Are you interested in finding out what the experts in the field think, or are you interested in discovering the thoughts and opinions of the general population? The purpose of this exercise is to help you write the sampling information in the methodologies chapter of your proposal. So there you have it. And remember, this is your application exercise, a little bit different than the test that we've been taking. So we're 400 words, 30 points, and what I really want to see is what is this group that you're going to be giving that survey to. So with that first written assignment 5, that's the survey, and now who are we going to give it to, and the logic mostly behind who we're giving it to. Why would I give it to these people? What am I expecting? And one of those phrases that was in there. Oftentimes I ask experts in the field, and we want to ask experts because we feel that they have the working knowledge to give you the most appropriate answer. But on the other hand, sometimes it is very beneficial to ask just the general public that might not have a whole lot of information on your topic, because then it gives you more of an unbiased opinion. So keep that in mind. And then finally, for week 5, we have a journal assignment. And for our journal assignment, please respond to each of the prompts below. Your responses to each of the prompts should be summative and demonstrate writing skills appropriate for a 4th-year college course. And the first question, what was most confusing to me in this week's lecture, video, or reading? If nothing was confusing, what was most interesting or surprising? And what insight have I gained as a result of this activity? So we need to focus on sampling, surveys, populations. Tell me a little bit about what was difficult this week. And when I think about difficult, I'm thinking more about what will be my difficulties in actually moving my study forward. I got a good idea, I got a good question. Now how would I actually make that come to fruition? What would be some of the hiccups that might come along my way? So there you have it. There is our week 5 assignments. I think it's pretty straightforward. We're building on our previous week's information. I think all of us are standing in a very good place. We have good quality assignments, so let's continue that on. I know this is Thanksgiving week, so I know that many of us are busy. We're traveling. Be safe if you're traveling. Give thanks to those around you. And I'll keep you in my thoughts and prayers, and I look forward to reading all of your assignments at the end of the week. Bye for now.